Welcome to Powerhouse Piano. This is Ian Hodge with lesson number 11 in our series. And if your child's been following every lesson, then they've already got a repertoire of 27 little pieces. Today's piece number 28, we're going to highlight that it's in 3/4 time, 3 quarter notes in the bar, and that there's an F sharp. And that this piece is allegro, which is fast. Again, if they're working through my Read, Write, Play program, they'll have all this information. Here, today, we're learning some accidentals, C sharp and D sharp. And we're also learning to stretch our hand down a little bit more than over the 5 notes from E down to G, so that we reposition our hand. And finally, those 3 notes there, just look at the fingering very carefully. It's the 3rd finger, the 1st finger on the E, then the 2nd finger on the F sharp. And right at the end, we're going to play hands together for just those 3 notes, and you'll notice that both hands are going to play exactly the same note at the end. You can play it just one hand, either hand, it won't make any difference. See, my hand just steps sideways a little bit there from the E, we're down to the G. For those of you who are very observant, you notice that right at the end I didn't play 2 hands together, and that's because I changed this written piece of music after I made the recording, figuring that it wasn't too hard for the student to play hands together. Now here we are, a well-known little piece of music. It's in 2/4, so it's going to go fairly fast. In fact, presto is written there. And the only new thing we're going to learn in this piece that we haven't done before is play flats. Using the flat sign, it's going to be a B flat, and then when that B occurs later on in the piece of music, you'll see that there's a natural sign before the B flat, which means the B flat is no longer B flat, it's B natural. While we're at that B flat, by the way, we play the B flat with our 2nd finger, and then our thumb plays the G. Now there we are with the B coming back again, and it's got a natural sign in front of it, so we don't play the B flat. And the last thing we want to remember about this piece has got a repeat sign. Pretty easy. Let's go. Bounce along this one. Once your child's learned it, they should be able to pick up the tempo reasonably well. Again, when you first learn the piece, you don't have to play them fast. See my 2nd finger on the B flat and then the thumb on the G there. There's the B natural. Here we go again with our repeat. That G. There you go. Now, it wasn't that easy. Let's look at it again from the lower position, and just to see how it moves along here. G, B flat, G. Now F and B natural. And repeat. Whoop, I almost forgot to repeat. And there it is. Have fun with that one. Now our last piece. We played one very similar to this in our last lesson, and you can see here the first note in every measure. It's C, B, A, then G. Then in the left hand it's going to be F, and then it's going to be an E, and then D in the next measure, and finally the C. So the first note of every measure plays the C major scale descending. And it's the same again in the 2nd line, except for the last 2 measures, which will not be playing the scale down. It changes just so we get a better ending to the piece of music. Again, it's just 3 beats in the bar for the student, 3/4 note beats. And there's a moderato, so it's not to be played too fast. This should be fairly easy for your child because they've played these notes slightly different rhythm pattern, and Just slightly different note order in the second line, but the same idea here. What I'm doing is by using the long note at the beginning of every measure, I'm emphasizing that note so that the listener can actually hear the scale descending. C, there we go, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Here we go again on the second line. It's not very hard. This should be an easy lesson for your child. Have fun. See you next lesson. If you'd like help with this lesson or any other lesson from Powerhouse Piano, just send me an email, ianhodge@powerhousepiano.com, and I'll get back to you to help you in every way that I can to make sure your teaching experience at home is a success for you and your child. And if you're looking for more teaching materials on Powerhouse Piano, go to our website, powerhousepiano.com, and there you'll find resources that can help you teach your child the piano at home successfully.